Thus is the female dungeon, and all the rooms on the ground floors around was where 400 females were shared among at the same time. And sometimes when the sun shines, they come out to enjoy a little bit sunshine, then taken back into the dungeons. As you can see, all the rooms on the ground floors. So we are going into one of the dungeons, or some of the dungeons, to have a look at what went on inside. That's the very dungeon that leads to the biggest among the female dungeon. Thus is the female dungeon. Among the dungeons, this one is the biggest. And it takes 150 women at a time. That is the original floor. We have the open ways, as you can see, the rays of light, a good source of ventilation for them. We have also the other ones, they were gates. But the hole over there's a small hole over there which was also for ventilation, but they kept their ammunition over there. So in case there is a chemical leakage, it comes in there, kills most of the women. Those who died were picked and thrown into the sea. No burial for them. Empty containers was placed at the corner of the room for the women to use to ease themselves. But not all of the captives came in from Ghana alone. Some came from all the neighboring countries, including Nigeria, walking down to this place. So by the time they will get here, they will be tired. They will not be able to access the empty containers. So urination, feces, even menstrual blood, everything was right on the floor where they were sleeping at a time. That's so sad. So we have this reservoir right here, which was built by the Portuguese, used for domestic purposes. As big as the whole floor, it covers underground, full of water. And when it rains, they harvest the rain up, and through the pipes it comes in there as storage, used for domestic purposes. But when the Dutch took over, they thought the Portuguese have poisoned it, so they never used this very one. But built their own 3 times bigger than this, somewhere in the service yard. Research has been done on it, and it's not poisoned, just because they were enemies. Just because they were enemies. You see, a time came when Africa was termed as the white man's grave due to the rate at which the Europeans were dying in Africa. So whenever a governor or a soldier is coming, one of them comes with their wives. And anytime a governor feels like having sex or an affair with a woman, because of his position, he stands at the balcony up there, order the women around by the soldiers and make a choice. The woman that might be choosing, she might be in the dungeons for about a week or 2 without brushing or taking a bath. She'll be made to use some of this water to bath in presence of the soldiers. Afterwards, given a little food to eat, then goes through a secret access to the governor's bedroom. Let's see the secret access. This is the secret access to the governor's bedroom, but as you can see, it's very weak and we can't make it up. And after the humiliation, the woman is then brought back to the dungeons to join her colleagues. After 2 to 3 months, when the ship comes for them to be taken on board, most of them will be found pregnant. Those that will be pregnant were never taken on board. They were sent to town, stone houses built for them. Some of the soldiers also never wanted to humiliate the females, so they married the locals legally, also built stone houses for them as well. And after 6 years, their children are brought to the castle to be given formal education. And you see, let's note that not all of the women accepted to be raped by the governor. Some of them refused to be raped, and those who refused were brutally punished. We are going to see outside how they were punished. We have this ball right here, which is a cannonball. It weighs about 25 kilograms. And initially, there were 8 of them, and a chain was attached to all the 8 round. The woman that refuses the governor's call, all the 8 with the chains is being placed at her ankle or her leg to stand here for 24 hours. No food, no water for them to die quickly. I mean, for them to stand there for 24 hours. Oh, shit. So we are going to this very room also to have a look at what also happened there. And this is one of the female dungeons, which take about 80 women at a time. And the materials on the floor are not original. In July 2016, a program was held called The Return of the Slave. Africans and Americans in diaspora volunteered to come and have a feel at what their ancestors went through. So 40 people volunteered to sleep there for 12 hours. They were using the pieces of cloth to cover their private parts, the shackles or chains for restraint of their movement, and none of them defecated, but only urine. And the next day, when the cleaners came to clean the place, no one can even stand at the stench or the smell that was coming out of this place. So imagine the captives being in their own feces, urination for 2 to 3 months, awaiting shipment, because the dungeons were never cleansed or the captives neither had their bath. So we are going to see the transit exit for the females. Yes. So as you can see, after 2 to 3 months, when the ship comes for them to be taken on board, the women that were able to survive the brutalities and the maltreatment in the dungeons were made to pass this exit to the room of no return, joining the men. And initially there was a staircase right there, but now, as you can see, it is a drainage system. And we have the metals being placed there recently to avoid anyone from falling or any accidents from occurring. So please subscribe for more videos.